Hi, I'm Sam, and it's 2024, July 22nd, approximately 12:42 a.m. in the morning, and I'm doing this recording to try to illustrate the process where we document what it is we're going to do. In this case, I can see the calendar focused on the present week. I'll duplicate my prior event to indicate that I'm just taking the next step. Update the time to reflect the present, and this is what we call my now event. Everything we do is on a basis of standing on our own now event, and it's given the time and the time zone of whoever the participant is. We put the name in four places: the main, the mapping, and then in the memo at the beginning and at the end. And in this case, the name is made up of three elements: when, what, who. Verify that it landed where I expect. And I'm going to remove the note that's attached to it so that this could be focused on this recording. So I'm going to indicate that this is going to be a YouTube instructional, and it's going to be focused on an event. And the event is the method by which we document our effort. In this case, this is my event documenting that I'm doing the recording, and it exists here, and I can navigate to what I would hope to be, and these are all older artifacts. So we're going to get rid of the older artifacts, and we're going to focus on the collaboration where people can work together. And the focus here should be going to the present date. It currently is not, so I'm going to orient this to the present date. And there's two aspects that we focus on initially, which is creating virtual standing. And we stand at our present time, post it on the calendar, and then we collaborate, meaning that we work together and we post our details of what we're focused on and performing in a document. In this case, it's the 23rd. So we're going to use the 23rd as the point of collaboration. We're going to relate and link this document to the event. And for any focal point, we can navigate to the prior and the next. What this does is establishes orientation in the x-axis. So what we do is we first establish the relation and the link. My event is now related and linked to the document where we're going to indicate what we're doing. And this is by day. So this day's document would be similar to a daily journal, indicating all the efforts, files, and transactions occurring on this date. This date can be oriented so we could go to the prior and the next. And if it's established, we should be able to click and recognize that it either exists or it doesn't. After we've done this and a person's comfortable doing the process, they should be able to extend their reach so that they can recognize the days that would be packaged as a week. And then the week can also be oriented to the prior and the next to the extent that it fulfills a month. Much of our efforts are monthly related, meaning that they're cyclical and occur every month. So it's important to discern what belongs in which period. In this case, I'm going to go from the 22nd to the 28th, verify that I can navigate step by step. And this is an effort-based focus. We have aspects of focus that include effort, which is step by step, entity, which is a relation on a basis that has a foundation depending on what you're looking, that we call contextual. So the contextual relation with regard to a daily is the largest package for time, which we call the year. And the year here is related to prior and next year at the level of the date. So we go year, date. Excuse me. I'm just about navigated to the period limits. And the period limits here are the first of this week to the last of the week. Expectation here is that we're dealing with a 7-day week. So we would expect all of these to indicate that the 7 days of this 7-week period are grouped so that we can now go to that container. That's going to be another document focused on a week, and this particular week is July 22nd to the 28th, which is here. And if this is established properly, we should be able to navigate to the prior and the next and see the weekly extending to their container of the month. And at the monthly level, we have scheduling, we have transactions that involve revenues or expenditures at a monthly cycle. And this doesn't look correct. So we'll separate the focus here that's distinct between the dailies and the weekly. In this case, it doesn't appear that it's going day by day. Week by week in this instance. This is the 34th, so we would expect our path to go to the 33rd and the 35th, and it does not. Okay, simple stuff. We'd expect there to be a path to the month, and it also does not. So one of the members has been altering the path to make it go to the container, not recognizing that when we use a name, the construct of a name is looking for a direct, unique link. The construct of a type is the container, the group. So this evidences that they don't know the distinction between a symbol, a word, a name, and a type. And that will limit their capability and make it impossible for them to discern what the proper process is, because every point is context related. There's not going to be a mistake, there's a failure to understand. So in this case, July should be our path. This should go to the month, and then the month we should have the exact same situation. This is the prior month. We use coloration to indicate certain contextual awareness. So for instance, light blue is the month, but when we're dealing with the month as an effort base, it's step by step or month by month. When we're dealing with the month as an entity base, we're now dealing with the month in relation to the year. So the expectation here is that we would go back to the prior year for the same month, and we would be able to go forward to the next year for the same month. And we change the coloration to reflect, even though it's still a month document, its base has been shifted towards the year as the pivot point. So on one we have step by step, month by month. The other we go month staying static and the year changing. And this is crucial to understand so that when we do a focus on a job type, we can look at all job of a certain type performed in a given month and then look back for the last 10 or 15 years, and there becomes a base of data that could be mined for work to support 10 people. But without the people having a contextual awareness of the meaning of these terms, they don't know what the words mean, and as a consequence, they're not capable of knowing what to do. They're looking for a step-by-step process where a person should have exceeded that to go towards a process that works in a framework of a hierarchy that exceeds the steps and does them through a times orientation. So they're lacking the power that's needed in order to discern based on a failure to know. They don't understand because they're not standing on a proper base. The proper base should be to know the meaning of the terms and then exhibit that understanding through actions that are contextually aware and provide that feedback. But that doesn't exist presently. Thank you.